Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby.
Sometimes the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that's definitely truer in this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, because Boruto decides to bring back a classic technique which was perfected by his father, and another weird, creepy, and very strange scene, and another great episode of the Kara arc of the series. So, this is basically the episode where Boruto and his team go to Tatooine, a hive of scum and villainy. That's right, they're basically heading to Mos Eisley, the Land of Silence, which is basically where this massive black market is, and this is where they're going to get some information about these mysterious Hashirama cells. And this episode wastes no time in showing what kind of shithole this place is and how it's run by all of these bandits and thieves. And it also shows that Boruto and Sarada, while they have been trained to essentially be ninja assassins, have also lived a very sheltered life in Konoha Village, as they've never seen anything like this in the Land of Silence, and you can tell that it sort of deeply disturbs them all a little bit. The good news is they were smart. When they went into this place, they decided to take off their ninja headbands and basically get rid of all the affiliation that they have with shinobi and ninja villages so that they could sort of infiltrate this place and get some info. They actually end up going to this shop, which is run by this really shady guy with a fez, who has a gecko on his shoulder, which also has an even smaller fez. I don't know why this is hilarious to me, but it's really funny. And this guy ends up trying to trap all of them by having this giant freaking metal door slam down, because he, of course, doesn't want his business to get compromised. But Boruto comes in and ends up kicking the shit out of his guards, and eventually they end up getting some information where they're going to infiltrate basically the red light district of this place. And they end up running into this character that, according to Mugino, is an ex-medical ninja from the Hidden Mist, a guy who goes by the name of Kirasaki, who definitely gives off some very strong Jiraiya vibes, basically just the perviness of it all, as basically he goes into this place and is getting doted on by all of these women who are simply known as the ladies. The ladies group. That's basically what they are. They all look like identical twins. And just like Boruto, I think it is confirmed in this episode that they're using the transformation jutsu to actually transform into these ladies, which, yes, is kind of creepy and disturbing. But Boruto actually uses his skills to transform into a creepy lady version of himself to take advantage of this man and use his weird, sexy wiles to get some information out of him and learn a little bit more about the Hashirama cell, because apparently this guy is planning on actually getting it and making a lot of money with it. And by the end of the episode, they end up sort of defeating this guy and tying him up and learning a little bit more about him. And they learn that he's actually about to meet some client on a mysterious bridge, because that's where all weird, crazy deals happen in the Naruto series. And basically, Konohamaru is going to transform into this medical ninja Kirasaki, and he's going to use Boruto as sort of his bodyguard as they meet this weird-looking, old, penguin-looking motherfucker who actually looks like he's actually going to try and sell the Hashirama cells, which are actually consuming his entire body. He actually collapses right there on the spot, acting in place of his employer, and basically they're like, oh shit, what do we do now? Do we pick this guy up? Do we try to help him? What's going on? The episode ends. If you want to know what's going to be happening in the next episode, just watch the next one. It kind of spoils where this entire direction is going to be going. But it was an interesting direction, to say the least. And again, it's always fun to go to a place that's different than Konoha Village, and they always do a great job of just showing how different these places are. And this place is just a total dive. It is just a place for all of these sleazebags to go. They even say a lot of these guys are in the bingo book, which is essentially kind of like the bounty book where all these people can be captured. So not a lot of nice people in one location. So yeah, there it is. What's the rundown on this episode of Boruto? Again, this is kind of a stepping stone episode as we move forward in the Kara arc, getting to show how their affiliation and organization goes deep into the underworld of the Naruto series, which, despite the fact that there was a giant battle for world peace, hasn't really changed all that much for the actual show. I mean, on the outside, on the surface, everything seems a lot bubblier and happier than it was in the past, but there's still this dark element which exists in this world, and the Land of the Silence is sort of like the perfect personification of that, showing that there's a huge criminal underworld that still exists within this world, which might not be as dangerous as, say, like a Kaguya Otsuseki or something, but it's something that still exists in a world and reminds us that you simply just can't turn on a switch and make the world a better place. It's always going to have some rough spots around it, and again, I think seeing Boruto and Sarada's reaction to that was really fascinating, showing them that not everything is going to be super hunky-dory. Aside from that, the introduction of a new character, Kurosaki, was kind of interesting, a medical ninja, which predictably, of course, he fights with scalpels because that's just what a medical ninja would do. And kind of a crappy medical ninja at that. He almost had his briefcase stolen by this kid who appeared a couple times in the episode. He couldn't even chase him. He didn't even do the stereotypical ninja run with his arms behind him or anything. He just ran like an asshole and tried to take this kid down and ended up getting beaten by a freaking genin. Again, you know, you gotta question how some of these people actually became ninja in the first place. I mean, he clearly has some fighting skills, but, I mean, it didn't take long for Boruto to clean his freaking clock. Otherwise, a pretty interesting episode, especially with the plot point at the end with that old man appearing, acting as the butler of his employer. I don't know who he's going to be affiliated with, if it's another character that's involved with Victor, or maybe even that other mysterious Kara member who made a very small appearance, who seems to be showing up again in the next episode, which looks really awesome. But it's hard to see, and he also has just a really weird character design. When they showed him from the front for the first time, I didn't expect him to have like this giant freaking schnoz. It was ridiculous actually seeing it. It looks like freaking Jimmy Durante. You guys are not going to understand that reference, but that's beside the point. The point is, this was a pretty decent episode, continuing on the Kara arc and doing a great job of expanding upon it. I thought it was wholly entertaining, to say the least. That being said, I am sort of ready to start moving on to some of the bigger stuff going on with Victor and his organization. So I'm going to drop a 4 out of 5 on this episode, but otherwise I still thought it was pretty damned entertaining, you know, especially for, you know, the anime-only watchers. Again, I highly implore even manga viewers to go ahead and check this out, if only because it's doing a pretty good job of expanding on this organization and getting to see like how widespread they actually are. And again, it's always cool to go back to you know, an interesting location, which according to some of my commenters, we've actually been here before, but that was a long time ago. I completely forgot about that stuff. That was so long ago in the series, like back during Shippuden. But it is kind of cool to come back to this place, which has a different feel than all the other happy Konoha village stuff. So yeah, 4 out of 5 from me. That's my thoughts on the episode. I want to get yours. Make sure to sound off in the comment section below telling me what you thought about this episode of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, and what you hope to see from the rest of the series. Thank you guys for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like this video, maybe give it a thumbs up, give it a like. It would help out a lot. I want to thank all of my patrons. You guys have been making donations to my Patreon page, and I really appreciate that. I cannot thank you enough for all of that. Remember, first-time donators, if you make a donation, I'll review an anime series of your choice, as well as adding your name to this list of super awesome people who support this channel every single day. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.